Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unacademy. On this channel, CAT4MBA, I warmly welcome all of you for the preparation of CAT and other management entrance exams. My name is Neelam, and I'm going to be a facilitator and educator for these exams. In today's session, I'm going to focus on vocabulary questions of SNAP. The exam which happened on 20th of December and the questions which appeared in that paper, verbal ability section of that paper, I'm going to focus on those varieties of question because those are the questions which are very likely to appear on 6th as well as on 9th. So in today's session, I'm going to pick up those questions which appeared on 20th, and with that we will learn a lot of words and we will do exercise based on those questions. Alright, before starting today's session, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. My name is Neelam Malkani and I possess around 12 years of experience of test preparation industry and have trained students in CAT, GRE, GMAT, SAT, IIMs and TOEFL. My areas of expertise have been English and verbal reasoning. I have also designed and set assessment papers of English for various government and private exams. I did this for governing bodies as well as for professional bodies. For a brief period of time, I also served as an examiner of English for an international organization. Recently, I have written a comprehensive book of English for the preparation of competitive exams. The book is written in both Hindi and English and is available on Amazon. This video is brought to you by Unacademy. Let me take you to its portal and tell you how you can be part of this and start your preparation for your targeted exams. First, you have to go in the Play Store of your mobile phone and install Unacademy Learning app. After installing the app, you will have 3 major offerings plus free courses and special classes. Thanks to this app in your mobile phone, you can attend classes under free courses and special classes. You don't have to pay anything to attend these classes. All you need to do is type code Neelam to unlock all the courses. Those educators who take their classes under plus category, they do offer their classes under free and special classes. You can take as many classes or you can attend as many classes as you want. Once you decide to subscribe to the course, you can go further and see the different features that you will be availing after you subscribe to the course. Features such as 30 hours of live sessions every day. So this is not going to be a very regimental course which makes you attend a class on a specific time. You can have complete freedom to decide the time of your class. The courses which are delivered by these educators are well structured and well designed, having fine balance of conceptual clarity, exercises and quizzes, so that you are prepared well for your targeted exam. 50 plus top educators now are associated with Unacademy who are delivering their live session as well as sessions on YouTube. These educators have extensive experience of guiding, mentoring students in their respective domains. Every month you see a new course being published on Unacademy platform, a course which caters to the needs and requirements of a specific exam, so that none of the parts or none of the sections of these exams is left out. When you go further, you will be shown different models of subscription which have been devised by Unacademy to suit your plan of the preparation. If you are going for those exams which are happening in January, February and you want to go for a crash course, you can go for 1 month subscription. That is going to cost you only 3,500 rupees. But if you are preparing for CAT 2021, you have to go for yearly subscription, and for that you will have to go for 17,500 rupees. Whichever subscription you decide to go along with, if you type code Neelam, your fee is going to come down to 3,150 for a month and 15,750 for entire year after 10% discount. So whichever modular subscription you decide to go along with, if you type this code Neelam, referral code Neelam, you will be able to avail 10% discount. Alright? Fine. Now let me give you information about the batches which are about to begin on 20th 28th of December. So the batch, which is absolute batch for CAT 2021, which is going to be taken up by the top educators of Unacademy who have wealth of experience of guiding and teaching and training for these competitive exams. You have to type referral code Neelam if you want to join this batch. Another batch, which is complete weekday batch for CAT 2021, which is also starting on December 28, right? So the batch is again headed by Ronak Shah, the quant faculty member who is prominently known for his expertise in quantitative ability. Along with that, there are two other educators who also have extensive experience of these exams. Now, this is an amazing feature which has been introduced by Unacademy to help those candidates who are preparing for CAT 2021. The batch is going to be taken up by those people who have experience of IIM Calcutta, IIM Bangalore and IIM Ahmedabad. These faculty members have studied in these top colleges, the colleges that you are targeting to get admission into. So these faculty members have first an experience of clearing this exam, preparing for these exams and studying in these colleges, the colleges that you are aiming at. So this batch is again being launched on 28th of December, and in this batch, which is named as Iconic Batch, you will be given a personal mentor who is going to look into your performance, who is going to track your performance from day one, how many exercises you are solving, how many questions you are attempting in an exercise or in a test, how many mocks you are attempting, finally what kind of mistakes you are making, how much time you are taking, and how well prepared you are for a specific exam. So that personal mentor is going to give you test analysis and reports. So your test analysis, so that you have finally a strategy in place which is going to work for you for your final exam. This mentor is also going to help you in your other management entrance exam preparation. So other than CAT, since you are going to diverse your risk and you are going to take other exams, so this mentor will also help you in taking care of other exams. So in this batch, all the benefits that you will be availing under plus category will be included. Alright, so this is Iconic Batch and you will be mentored by those faculty members who have actually studied in these colleges, right? Now with that, I would like to tell you one incredible feature that has been integrated into Unacademy Plus platform, that is Ask a Doubt. So what you have to do is, if you have any doubt or any question in a specific exercise or in a specific mock or test paper, what you have to do is you have to take a picture. After taking the picture, you have to upload that picture. The picture has to be legible and there should be one question only, right? You have to highlight that picture and post it and send it. Within 24 hours, you will be given the solution. So Ask a Doubt is going to be a personalized service which is going to be for you. So whichever question you have or whichever ambiguity you have in a specific question or in a specific exercise, you can put it up and within 24 hours, your question is going to be answered, right? So you avail all these benefits along with exercises, quizzes, school information, your profile building exercises, GDPI preparation, everything under simple one subscription. So what are you waiting for? If you are targeting 2021, this is the time for you to enroll yourself and start your classes. Alright? Fine. So that's all about batches. Now let's start with today's agenda, that is SNAP vocab exercises, right? Before that, let me just give you a very brief snapshot of the questions which appeared in SNAP on 20th of December. In that, there were a couple of questions based on vocabulary. So it was predominantly vocabulary and grammar only, as I discussed when I took a class on grammar. So on Friday, I took a comprehensive exercise of grammar. In that, I told you half the portion was grammar, later half was, vocabulary. I mean, it was equal division between vocabulary and grammar. There wasn't any RC. And there was only one question on paragraph. So verbal ability was confined to one question only. So predominantly vocabulary and grammar. Alright. So if we assume that half portion is going to be vocabulary. Out of 14, that means 7 to 8 questions will be from vocabulary. Right? Now, let's look at the questions which appeared, the type of question which appeared on 20th. So, it was filling the blank. One blank was given, 4 options were there. You had to complete the sentence by choosing the appropriate word which is fitting into the sentences, making the sentence complete. Another vocabulary based question was idiom and phrases, right? So that also comes into lexical resource. So idiom and phrases, your understanding of these idiomatic expressions will fall into vocabulary. So there were 2 questions on idioms and phrases. There was one question on analogy. So analogy was given in a form of 2 words. 2 words have a relationship. Same relationship has to be displayed in your answer pair, right? So that way, understanding the vocabulary as well as establishing the relationship into 2 words was vital. Collective noun. So that also falls into vocabulary because what is a name for the collection of singers? So that falls into vocabulary, right? And then spelling was also tested. So that tests your form of understanding or forms of words, right? So this way, all these questions are based on vocabulary. Now, what I have done for today's session is I have taken up a mix of all these varieties of questions. With that, there was one question on confusing verb, eminent and imminent, right? So there was a sentence. You had to decide whether eminent will be used in that sentence or imminent will be used. So confusing verb, which has always been a very favorite part of SNAP. So broadly, these were the questions which were tested. Yeah, so there was one question on synonyms as well. So there was a word given and 4 words, you have to choose which word is the closest in terms of its meaning to the given word. Alright? So synonym, analogy, filling the blank, confusing words, and phrasal verbs and idiomatic expression. Alright? So these were the major varieties of question based on vocabulary. So I have picked up all of them to have a comprehensive exercise today, right? So let's start today's exercise. So I'm going to give you enough time to solve these questions so that you put up your answer. Just a second, let me see if I'm... Okay, let me just tell you that I'm online and you can put up your answer here of the question that I'm going to give you in the exercise. Alright? Fine. So let's begin with first question. Okay, so the question is based on collective nouns, right? So the question is he looks after a dash of 50 sheep, right? So what is the correct word that fits in the sentence and makes the sentence complete and appropriate, right? So flock, group, bunch, or whole. Quickly, I would like to see your answers in the chat box. Hi Sukanya. Hi. So I'm on my first question today. I hope you got the question. So Riya, Sukanya, both of you say it's flock. Yes, the answer is A, flock. So this is the kind of LOD that you are going to get in SNAP, right? So quickly you can mark your answer. So flock is used for sheep, flock is used for deer. So I would like to give you some more words which are used for collective noun, you know, something which is there to define the collection of something, right? So herd is a group of herbivore animals. So whenever you have herd, so herd of goats, herd of sheep, right? So herd is usually used for a group of herbivore animals. Whereas pack, P-A-C-K, so pack of is a group of animals, is a group of canine animals, right? So the animals which have canine, so canine is those sharp teeth which they use for eating flesh, right? So they are flesh eating animals. So pack is used for dogs, pack is also used for wolves, right? So pack of wolves or pack of dogs. So pack is used for those animals which eat flesh. Herd is used for those animals which are herbivores, right? A flock or flight is used for birds. A flock of birds or a flight of birds, right? So flock you used for this, so flock is also used for these animals, right? The swarm, please remember this word, right? So recently there was an attack of swarm of locusts in Pakistan. If you remember, that was very prominently in news, covered by all leading newspapers, because it was declared as an emergency in Pakistan, because a lot of crops were destroyed by these swarm of locusts, right? Swarm is always used for insects. Okay? So, swarm of bees, madhumakkhiyan, swarm of locusts, or swarm of flies, right? So, this collective noun is always used for insects. For fish, it is always a shoal of fish, or whether it's a school of fish. Okay? So, please remember the distinction of these words. Herd is always for herbivorous, pack is for canine animals. I hope you remember, canine animals are those who eat flesh. Flock and flight for birds, swarm is for insects, shoal and school is for birds, right? Now, very quickly, I would like all of you to participate in the exercise and fill up these sentences. Now, which of these, words will be filled in the first? A dash of birds is always a beautiful sight. Yeah, Sukanya, Ria, quickly, tell me the answer. For first, a dash of birds is always a beautiful sight. So, what are the appropriate words? Okay, fine. So, do you remember these two words? Flock or flight, right? A flight of birds is always a beautiful sight. A flock of birds is always a beautiful sight. Second, they welcome the chief guest with a dash of flowers. So, which word will you be using here in second blank? Flowers का गुच्छा, flowers को इकट्ठा करके bundle किया जाता है. So what do we call that? Okay, so they welcome the chief guest with a dash of flowers. Which word will be fitting here? Sorry. Yeah, so it's a bouquet of flower. Fine. So second, you are going to have a bouquet of flower. Third, as we drove down the countryside, we saw a dash of sheep grazing in the fields. Bunch is also okay. Abhishek, Sukanya, bunch is also fine, bouquet is also fine, right? But if you have a bunch, if you are intentionally bundling flowers together, so that's going to be always a bouquet, right? On a flower shop, you will see bunch of flowers because they are stacked together. But when it is decorated for you, when they are handpicked, the flowers are handpicked and they are decorated for you, that's always a bouquet of flower, right? So please remember. Okay, third, as we drove down the countryside, we saw a dash of sheep grazing in the fields. Okay, yeah, herd of sheep grazing in the. Now please remember, this is the kind of noun. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's. Just a second. All right, fine. So I just wanted to give you another input about grammar here. Sheep is never plural, right? I mean sheep and sheep. One sheep is sheep and three sheep are also sheep. You can never have sheeps because plural of sheep is sheep, right? So another fixation of snap is singular and plural nouns. So be very clear that the plural of sheep is sheep. The plural of deer is also deer. D-E-E-R, D-E-E-R. Both are same. Aircraft, spacecraft, both are same whether you use singular or plural. Okay? Okay, fourth is the dash of thieves has been arrested by the police. Okay, so this is a gang of thieves. A gang is always for those people who collude for doing something criminal, for doing something negative, right? So they collude, they connive, or they possibly form a nexus, right? So the gang of thieves has been arrested by the police. It's never a group of thieves, it's always gang, right? There he saw a man carrying a bundle on his head. Yeah, so somebody wrote bundle, bundle is going to be correct. Because you are not fine. Yeah. So he saw there we saw a man carrying a bundle of clothes on his head. What is sixth? What will come here? Sixth. Alright, a choir of musician. It's always choir of singers. Chorus. Chorus is related with singer. From that only you have a choir, right? So chorus is for singers. Choir is always for singer. Couple of you are answering choir. That's always for singers. Collection of musicians. No, it's orchestra of musicians. They play in orchestra, right? Whereas this word is always for those people who perform, troupe. People who perform on stage. Troupe of dancers. Troupe of performers. Yes, band of musicians is also correct. A band of musicians or orchestra of musicians, right? So here both the words will be correct, but choir will not come. Choir is for singers, troupe is for performers, right? A person who goes and performs on stage, right? He does acrobatic activities, or he dances, or he does something which involves physicality, right? So that is true. Band, orchestra, both will be correct. Alright? My friend has a fine dash of old stamps. Which word will be appropriate here? It's very common word. Yes, it's collection. My friend has a fine collection of old stamps. Right? Now, can anyone please tell me what is the word for the love of collecting old stamps? The word for collecting old stamps. Love for collection of old stamps. Okay, that is philately. That comes into GK, but I just thought of giving you the word because it became relevant here. It's a philately, and the person who loves collecting old stamps is philatelist, right? Okay, let's go on next slide. And now please understand these two different words, right? So they are also used for collective nouns, but how different they are. Look at pile. So pile is going to be a collection of untidy things. Pile of clothes, those clothes which are in the laundry bin, right? Which you have collected for washing. So that's pile. Pile of utensils in the sink. So pile is not used for anything which is arranged or something which is put in an apple pie order, but something which is not organized. Whereas stack is something which is well arranged, well organized, right? You see stack of books in a library, right? Stacks or a stack of clothes in a wardrobe, right? When you go in a mall and you go in clothing sections, you see stack of clothes, right? So because they are neatly arranged in a very systematic manner, right? So that is stack and that is pile. So please understand, if these words come, you have to differentiate whether the thing is arranged neatly or whether the thing is just kind of hoarding. Okay? So pile and stack. So are we clear with these collective nouns? Herd and pack. So herd is always for herbivorous animals, pack is for canines. Flock, flight is for those which can fly, usually, right? It is also used for those animals which are herbivorous. Swarm is for insects, shoal and school is for fish, right? Fine. Now confusing word, another variety of vocabulary based question which appeared on 28th of December. I have picked up some confusing words, right? So please tell me the answer to this question. Yes, Sanjana, this is going to be helpful for IPMAT as well. For IPMAT, English is very important. Huge, dominance in your paper is going to be given to English, right? So this is going to be helpful for that as well. Okay, Ria says it's B, fine. Let me have some more answers. All right, fine. Very good. Sanjana, Priya, both of you answered correctly. Now, since we need word for stitching, so this is the word for stitching, right? So sew. So the second form of this is this, but you need first form because had is there, right? So that is why this is not correct. Now this is a confusing word. This has been given just to confuse you. Sow is to plant seeds in ground or on ground for germination, right? Sow is different. And the second form or the third form, past participle form of sow is sow. So you don't need these two words, right? You need sew. Very good. So this is for stitching. One more on confusing words. All right. Ria says it's rains, A. Okay, now I hope we are clear that this is not the word and this is not the word that we need in the blank, right? So this is for remains, ruins, right? So those buildings which have been ravaged in war or which have been looted by invading army are in ruins, right? So Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, some of these sites which have been excavated, they were found in ruins, right? So ruins is shambles, ruins is in a very bad condition, बहुत ही बुरी जर्जर हालत में, in a dilapidated condition. So that is ruins, right? So the buildings are in ruins, right? So this is not the word we need. This is of course not the word that we need. Now here and here, both the pronunciation, both words pronunciation is same, but the spelling is different, so is their meaning, right? So this word is used for someone's tenure, right? In the reign of Indira Gandhi, emergency was imposed in India, right? In the reign of Shah Jahan, Taj Mahal was built in India. So here you're talking about someone's tenure, someone's time when he was in the ruling position, tenure, right? Whereas this reigns, this comes for controlling something, right? So लगाम जिसको बोलते हैं, bridle, that is this reigns, right? So we need this word here. C is the correct answer. She held the reins in her hand. So while she was horse riding, she took the reins in her hand, lagam, to control the movement of the horse, right? So that is reins. So this is for controlling. You need to have the reins of your career in your hand. That means you should be in the commanding position of your career, right? So reins here is to control. Whereas this is for tenure. कार्यकाल जिसको हम बोलते हैं, उनके कार्यकाल में ऐसा हुआ, ठीक है? So that is this way. All right. Now, is the distinction clear? All of you? Right. Fine. Now I picked up some more confusing word pairs so that you have some more clarity about these pairs, because commonly they are picked up by these exams and they give you either they fill in the blank or a sentence where you have to choose which of these words is correct, right? So I have picked up very commonly confusing words pair, right? So look at first pair, CANNON. Now first tell me which word is correct here. Which word will be correct in this given sentence? In this sentence, which of these words is correct? Cannon with double N or cannon with single N? Alright, so Ankush says it's CANNON. Alright. Yeah. Okay, Sukanya, Ria, both of you also answered correctly. Yeah. Fine. So let's see. This canon is for principle. Right? The basis of something. The canon of Hinduism does not allow cow slaughter. So the canon is basis, fundamental. By all canons, she is an excellent actor. By all canon, by all principles, right? So that is canon, this principle. Whereas this canon is for arms and ammunition. जो तोप होती है ना, तोप उसको बोलते हैं cannon, right? So the cannon at the old fort has an interesting history. So whichever word has double N, with double N you have more arms, you have more strength. So remember the word meaning double N, you have more strength, and that is why it comes for arms and ammunition, right? Next, it has become a fashion to request celebrities to canvas for political parties. Which word is correct? So Kanya, canon, this word means principle. Yeah, okay, fine. So it has become a fashion to request celebrities to canvassing, right? So here also with double S, word with double S will be coming, right? So canvassing. So at the time of election, a lot of celebrities are asked to canvass for political leaders, for political parties, right? So they come, go in the different constituency, they have their, election uh, campaign, and they canvass for a specific party or specific leader, right? So canvassing is publicity, persuading, asking people to do something. So that is canvassing, right? So a lot of celebrities were actually asked by the government to canvass for this, the government policies, which was laid down by this government against coronavirus or during pandemic. So Amitabh Bachchan has been canvassing Swachhata Abhiyan of the government, right? So canvassing is to campaign, to do campaigning. Whereas this canvas, I hope all of you know what this means. This is a rough cloth which is used for painting, right? Now this question, this sentence, tell me which of these words will be correct. I have given you three words here, three confusing words. Seized, sieged, and siege. The pronunciation of this word is a bit different. All right. Okay, I can see one answer. Seized. The police seized a huge cache of arms in Kashmir yesterday. Alright, so let's see which word is correct here. But before that, let's understand the meaning of these words, right? So this is for stopping something, right? Cease fire, right? So there is stoppage of gunfire on border. So that is ceasefire. There is no firing going on border. Ceasefire. His account has been seized. His account has been freezed. So freezed, seized. That means there is no transaction happening. Stop. Right? So no transaction is happening. That means there is no activity happening. Stoppage of activity is seize. C-E-A-S-E. We all were seized in this lockdown. So we could not move. We could not go out. We could not do actually anything. So all our movements were seized. Right? So this is what is stoppage. This is for impounding something, especially by authorities, by government authorities. Seized, जब्त कर लेना, confiscate कर लेना, अपने हाथ में, अपने possession में ले लेना. So if you are flouting traffic rules continuously and you have been challaned for continuously so many times, your driving license will be seized by traffic police because you are violating or you are flouting traffic rules again and again. Seized. Your property will be seized if it is found that you have violated the property, some norms of the government. Seized. Your property will be seized. So that will be confiscated by the government. All right. So this seize is correct in this sentence. The police seized a huge cache of arms in Kashmir yesterday. पुलिस ने अपने कब्जे में उसको ले लिया. ठीक है? This siege, S-I-E-G-E. Now with this, you have this word, lay siege, right? So lay siege is किसी area को घेर लेना, especially for the purpose of attack, right? So when 26/11 happened, this Taj premises was seized by the NSD commandos. It was seized by NSD commando, that means they all surrounded the Taj premises. So this is surrounding either for attack or for defense. Okay? I hope we are clear with the difference of these, the meaning of these words, right? So yes, all of you were correct, most of you were correct rather, that seized, this was the correct answer. Now tell me, what is the answer for this? Okay, so Sanjana says it's censored. Fine. Okay, fine. Now, if I say instead of committee members, they are critics, then what word will be appropriate? What if I say some parts of the movie were censored or censured by critics? Alright, all of you, Soni, Sukanya, Sanjana, all of you say it's censored, fine, because it's a committee which has been authorized, which has been given powers to censor or to edit the objectionable part of a movie, possibly, right? So that is why committee will censor, alright, right? But please remember, what if they are just critics? If they are simply critics, then this word is going to come here, right? Because critics do not have the right. Sukanya, in that case, it's going to be censured. Because critics do not have the right and the authority to edit the part of a movie. Only those people who have been hired by the government, who have been given this responsibility by the government to see if there is any objectionable part of a movie or not, they will have the authority to censor it. Censor is to edit. Censor board is there, right? So only those people who have been appointed by the government to look into the suitability of a movie. So here, if critics is there, the word will change and come to censure. Censure is to criticize. So critics can only criticize, right? They can only, pick holes in someone's work, in someone's movie, right? But they cannot censor, right? So that was a CAT question. One of these years, CAT asked question on confusing words. So this was one of the sentences there, all right? So please see the distinction. Censor is to edit, cut objectionable part of a movie. Censure is basically criticize. So a lot of people are censuring the provisions of these farmers' bills. A lot of people are criticizing. Okay? They are censuring, they are criticizing. Fine. Next set of words. Please tell me what is the answer for this? The newspapers were unanimous in their censure or the censor of the text proposal. Now which word would come? Alright, so in this sentence, censure will come. Unanimously, all these newspapers are criticizing the text proposal, right? So they hire censure. Now tell me, which word will be suitable here? The sip shale with its full complement. Complement with li or complement with le? All right. I can see some answers here. Yeah. Shubhangi, Sanjana, compliment, right? Something which makes you complete. अगर आप सिर्फ LR में अच्छे हैं, so you are not going to clear the cutoff of top 5 colleges, right? You have to have complementary skills. Complementary skills, that means you have to showcase your proficiency in verbal ability as well as in quantitative ability. Complementary skills. Complementary skills. Husband and wife complement each other. Something which is not there in the husband, possibly is there in the wife. She possesses some quality which are missing in husband. That way they complement each other. They make each other complete. Complement. This comes for completing each other. Complementary skills. You need to have complementary skills. Whereas this compliment is for a pleasant remark, right? This complimentary will be for free of cost. Complimentary set of books will be given to you if you attend the conference. Complimentary set of books, free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. All right. So another meaning of complimentary will be for something which you don't have to pay for. Tell me, which site will come here? All right, fine. This was fairly easy. It was exactly snap question. This site is for a place, construction site, where the construction is taking place, right? There is no end in sight to this virus. There is no end in sight, eyesight, right? So this is eyesight. CITE, I'm going to cite you very relevant examples. I'm going to cite you some facts and figures, cite you, quote something to give in support of something, right? You cite an example, you cite references, you cite a quote, right? So cite CITE. In this sentence, SITE is correct. Fine. Very quickly, next set of confusing words. Decent, decent, and decent. This is a decent dress. Very easy. All right. Yeah, so this is a decent dress. Okay, fine. Now I'll make another sentence. You tell me which word will be fitting here, right? All right. So what if I say he is from Russian descent? Which word is coming here? This or this? He is from Russian descent. No, I am asking this. Which word will come in this sentence? He is from Russian descent. Okay, Sanjana, the spelling has to be corrected, right? Please see your spellings because that's also going to be tested in Snap. There was a word on 20th, irrevocable. You had to find the correct spelling for that, right? So look out for your spellings. So this descent is coming down from someone's heritage or someone's lineage, right? So that is descent. He is from Russian descent. That means his forefathers were from Russia. All right. This dissent, voice of dissent. So that is disagreement, right? Farmers are voicing their dissent. on the farmers' bill provisions, right? Voice of dissension. So disagreement is dissent, right? So this dissent and this dissent have completely different meaning. So is their spelling. Now this is, I hope, very clear. This word will be fitting in this sentence. The dessert was better than the dinner. Now this desert, you all know it's a sandy area, but when this desert is used as a verb, it means to give up or to abandon, right? Deserted houses. So deserted houses, these means those houses which were abandoned. There was no person living in those houses, right? So it was barren, it was possibly no man's land. That is why it was deserted, right? So when I have deserted all my hopes to go abroad this year. I have deserted my hopes to go abroad this year. That means I have given up my hopes. Okay? So as a verb, this word will have different meaning. As a noun, you all know desert is sandy area, but as a verb, it means to give up. Now, Dan Brown is an eminent or eminent writer. So this was the word pair which came on 20th. So eminent is someone who is very famous. Alright. So eminent lawyer Ram Jethmalani passed away. Eminent, right? So eminent actor of Bollywood, Irfan Pathan. He left for heavenly abode this year. Eminent actor. So eminent is somebody who is very prominent, known for something. The place is eminent for good education, right? Now, imminent is something which is going to happen very soon. Imminent winter session of parliament, something which is going to happen very soon, right? Imminent celebration of New Year, very soon that's going to take place, right? So imminent is something which is going to happen very soon. Alright, so this was the word pair that came on 20th of December. Now tell me the answer for this quickly. Alright, so the lady fainted when she saw the injured body. All of you are giving the correct answer, Sanjana, Sukanya. So this is the word which will be appropriate for this sentence. Alright, this is becoming unconscious. You lose your conscious, you become unconscious, you faint. You faint something which you cannot tolerate or which you cannot put up with, you faint, right? Or you faint because you are weak, right? Or malnourished, right? So that way faint can happen in different occasions, but you understand what faint means, right? Now this is feign. Feign is to pretend. The pronunciation of this word is feign, right? So you feign, when you feign something, you pretend something. She was feigning ignorance. That means she was pretending to be ignorant. She knew everything, but she was feigning ignorance. She was feigning British accent. She was not British. She did not go to Britain, but she was feigning as if she has been to Britain. Feigning accent, right? Pretending something. Now this feint is to dodge someone. किसी को चकमा दे देना, circumvent कर देना. This is very frequently used in sports, right? So आपके opponent को आप ये show करते हैं कि आप इधर जा रहे हैं, but you go the other way, just the opposite way. You feint your opponent, especially in football or cricket. No, in football, hockey, when your movement is going in one direction and you suddenly change your direction and your opponent is confused, right? So that is you fainted. You feint police, you dodge police, right? So that way feint is to chakma de dena, dodge karna, circumvent kar dena. Alright, are we clear with the meaning of these three words? Okay, fine. He flaunts or he flouts all rules as his is a relative of some, as he is the relative of some politician. I'm sorry, the sentence has to be rewritten. As he is a relative of some politician. What is the correct word here? He flaunts all rules or he flouts all rules? Okay, so those of you who are choosing this word, can you show off rules? Flaunts is to show off, to exhibit, to display, whatever you have. If you have it, you flaunt it, right? So that's the dictum. Okay, Shivam, I'll come to that. Please remind me to take it up towards the end of the session, right? Once I'm done with confusing words, please remind me to take it up, right? So you cannot flaunt. Flouts is the correct word here. Flout is to break. Flout is to violate. He flouts all rules as he is a relative of some politician, right? So he's presumptuous that he has all the authority to go and break all the rules, right? So that way he flouts. Flaunts is to show off. A person, when he flaunts his wealth, that means he exhibits all his possessions. He becomes very ostentatious in his behavior. He shows off what he has. Flaunt, right? So if you have an iPhone, you would definitely flaunt before your friends, right? So flaunt is to show off. Flout is to break. Now tell me the meaning. Tell me which word will come here. Ingenious, ingenuous. All right, Sanika. So she says it's ingenious. All right. So this is for a person who is very inventive, very creative and innovative, right? So ingenious man or ingenious capabilities. Very positive word, very complimentary word, which is used for a person who is extremely brainy and extremely innovative, right? Ingenious. E. Sridharan, the Metro Man of India, the Metro project of Delhi was the work of ingenious capabilities of E. Sridharan. Ingenious. He did entire project ingeniously, right? Very innovatively, he built that ambitious mammoth project for India. Ingenious, right? Pranav Mistry, the man who has the highest number of patents on his name, is an ingenious man. All right, so ingenious. This vaccine, which has been ultimately, invented by these scientists, they did all this work ingeniously in such a limited period of time and with limited resources. Ingeniously, they came up with this solution of this problem, right? Ingenuous is a person who is naive, भोला भाला, जो easily लोगों की बातों में आ जाता है और बेवकूफ बन जाता है, right? This person is guileless, craftless, right? He cannot be pretentious. जो है वो जैसा है वैसा है. Guileless, basically. Ingenuous is a person who is not pretentious, right? So this is naive and gullible. This is very clever and innovative. But it's a positive word, right? Now, the morale and and the moral of the team is high after winning the semi-final match. It's very clear. Answer is this. Right? So you have to solve exercises and you have to watch some videos if you want to build up your motivation level till 6th and 9th of January. Right? So it will keep your morale high. Right? So you should do something which keeps you motivating. Now, we wanted to visit an ordnance factory. Which ordinance will come here? Tell me. So Sanjana says it's ordinance with I. Alright. I'll tell you how you can differentiate these two words. The difference between these two words is only of I, right? So I is for implementation and you implement a law. Okay? So this is for law. I is for implementation, and what do you implement? You implement a law. That's how you can remember these words. Ordinance is always for a law which is passed by the government, not by the parliament, but by a government, right? So when parliament is not in the session and when a situation arises, when an issue arises which demands immediate law framing, then government passes the law and then it is sent to the president. The president signs and after that it becomes an ordinance, right? So ordinance is a law which is passed by the government, whereas this ordinance comes for arms and ammunition. So ordnance factory, where arms and ammunitions are built, manufactured. Alright, so ordnance factory. In Madhya Pradesh, there is an ordnance factory in Itarsi. Right? So that's a part of a GK, right? So ordnance factory that is there in Itarsi. Fine? So this is for arms and ammunition, ordnance law. Fine? When this man, Joe Biden, he came for the presidential debate, he said that he is going to do something for ordnance law in America. That is for controlling gun control, right? So that is ordnance factory. Ordnance is for guns or arms and ammunition. Okay? Last, divorce precedes or precedes marriage in dictionary. Precede and precedes. I hope it's very clear. Yeah. So you're talking about dictionary, right? So in a dictionary, D, words starting with D would come first, then words starting with N, right? So in a dictionary, it comes first, right? So that is why precedes. Precedes is coming before. Alright? Fine. So this is the word here. Proceed and proceed. Alright, very quickly, last word, last slide for confusing words. She is being trained in a simulated conditions or stimulated conditions? Simulation or stimulation. All right. Fine. I see answers here. Sony, Sanika, both of you have answered. Okay, no. Sony says is simulated and stimulated. Now here, simulated is recreation of something. Simulation, right? So when you see air hostess or stewards, they are trained for their job or for their actual job that they are going to perform or the work that they are going to perform. They are trained in a simulated condition. That means same cabin crew atmosphere is created in their training institutions, and they are created in that kind of atmosphere. So that is simulation. So cabin crew is stimulated in their training institutions where they can have real touch and feel of the aeroplane, right? So that is simulation. When you take a mock of any exam that you are targeting, such as if you are taking CAT and you take a mock, so that is taken in a simulated condition or in a simulated interface. So whichever institute is giving you the test, which will try to create a simulation of CAT, that means exact replica of CAT. They're the same interface, same features, all the things are going to be same as the things that are going to be there in the actual exam. Simulation is recreation. So here she is being trained in a simulated condition will be the correct word. Stimulated is when you are triggered to do something, right? Stimulated. What stimulated you to go for MBA? All right. So stimulated is to have a situation which triggers you, which moves you to do something. All right. Fine. Next, tell me what is the answer for this? Okay, Shivam, yeah. So moral is the ethics. Morality is related to ethics, right? So moral, what is the moral of this story? So what is the moral of the story? Matlab, what is the ultimate thing that you learned from this fable? So this is the moral, ethics, values, what principles you gain from this story. So that is moral. Your morality, right? So your moral compass should be intact. If you are lured by someone, you should not lose your moral compass. That means you should not lose your ethics. So that is moral, morality, naitikta. Whereas morale is the motivation level that you have. Your morale is boost up. If you have successive victory, if you successively win, your morale is up, right? So let's talk about cricket team. So if it continuously wins matches, the morale is high. So the confidence level is at peak. Their motivation level is very high because they have successive victories. So their morale, unka motivation level, it has nothing to do with moral. Your morale is high, you still be immoral. Okay? Alright? Hi Shivam. So I hope the distinction is clear. Fine. So his shop is famous as it has the best stationery. Stationery. No, Sanjana. Human is human. Humane is, when you are humane, you are compassionate. Right? You have mercy. You are more merciful. You have more compassion for others. So that is humane. Humane side of development. So you don't talk about data, you don't talk about fact, but you talk about how much it affects human being, the humane part of development. Okay? Human and humane is different. They are different. Fine. Come back to this stationery and stationery. I hope there is, I see there is some, right. Fine. Shivam, which question are you answering? Which question are you asking? So answer here is simulated. She is being trained in a simulated condition. The shop is famous as it has the best stationery. So stationery is going to be this. Alright. So this is for pen and pencil, whereas this stationery is for immobile, something which is stagnant. Stationary site, stationary satellite, right? So geostationary satellite, something which is stagnant, which is not moving. Stationary bus, so which was not moving. All right, so that is stationary. Fine. Now tell me the answer for this. This or this sword. Okay, I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Quickly tell me which SOAR will be here, SORE or SOAR. The prices are soaring. The prices of essential commodities are soaring. So that is this. A balloon soars. Right? So this soar comes for going up. Right? Whereas this soar is when you feel bitter. It's a sore point for me. That defeat is still a sore point for me. So that defeat means that still is bitter for me. That is still something which gives me pain. Alright? So she was quite sore over her defeat. Sore is here bitter. It was still painful for her. Okay? So that's why this will come. Now look at this. Someone had obviously tempered with the brakes of my car. Which tempered will be correct? TEMP or TAMP? Alright. Shivam, Sanjana, both of you say it's tempered, TAMP. Yeah, so that's the correct answer, tempered with. Tempered with का मतलब होता है किसी चीज से छेड़खानी कर लेना, right? So the data has been tempered with. It's a tempered data. It's a tempered tape, right? So the tape which has been received is tempered with. That means छेड़खानी की गई उससे. It has been doctored or it has been fiddled with, right? So temper करना बॉल टैम्परिंग होता है. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड बॉल टैम्परिंग, राइट? सो बॉल के साथ छेड़खानी होती है कई बार. बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर इज अ मोर स्विंग इन द बॉल. सो अ लॉट ऑफ बॉलर्स आर अक्यूज्ड ऑफ बॉल टैम्परिंग. ठीक है, छेड़खानी करना बेसिकली इज टेम्परिंग. सो टेम्परिंग डेटा, टेम्परिंग फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर, टेम्परिंग रिजल्ट. ठीक है, दिस टेम्पर ऑल ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड. दिस इज फॉर शॉर्ट टेम्परामेंट. प्लीज कंट्रोल योर टेम्पर व्हेन यू गो इन द इंटरव्यू रूम. Right? So control your temperament, control your temper. Okay? Alright? Now, next set of question is analogies. I'm afraid because of time constraint, I won't be able to take up all the questions. Right? But let's see how many questions we can take. So there was one analogy question in 20th in the paper which happened on 20th of December. So I would like all of you to take this up, analogy questions, understand the relationship of words, and accordingly you will have to find the answer pair, right? So for this you need two things. One, understanding of vocabulary, because unless you know the meaning of the word you won't be able to find the relationship. Second, what relationship and what different kinds of relationship can be there in analogy pairs, right? So these two things. So that is why some of the papers will bring analogy questions into verbal ability, whereas some papers will bring it into verbal reasoning part. Okay? In IIFT, you will see this comes into reasoning part because it involves some kind of reasoning. You will have to figure out what is the relationship in these words. Now look at this word pair and tell me what is the answer. Fern and plant. All right, fine. So the relationship between these two words is fern is a kind of plant. This thing is the representation of this category. This is the category. So plant is the category, fern is a kind of plant, right? So that's the relationship. Girl is a human, yeah, girl is a kind of human. Some of you have answered A. Is girl a kind of human? Yeah, girl is actually a human. Answer is not A. Now, these were two eyewash options. Since it's dealing with a plant, these two options are dealing with plants only. Bamboo is a kind of plant, cactus is a kind of plant. But you don't have to look at the subject. What you have to look at is the relationship. They are not exhibiting the relationship which is there in these two words, right? So that is why C is not the answer, neither is D. Bamboo is not the kind of land, cactus is not the kind of water. Answer is Solomon is a kind of fish. Very closely, A was given, but girl is human. Girl is not a kind of human. There are not different kinds of human. There is a one human being, right? So girl is actually a human. It's not a kind of human. So if you do not find the correct relationship, you will definitely go for this answer, and that is going to be incorrect answer. So please be very precise in establishing your relationship between these two words. Unless you establish this correctly, you won't be able to find out your correct answer. Alright, as I said, understanding of words as well as the relationship, both come into play here, right? There isn't any word which you don't know here. All words are very familiar. You know the meaning of all these words, but meaning, relationship becomes very important here. Now, one more question. Okay, before signing off, I'll have to wind up the session very soon because I have another session. Tomorrow I'll be practicing. I'll be taking a session for verbal reasoning practice. In that, I'll take a question on syllogism, logical consistency, assumption, course of action. Those questions which appeared in SNAP on 20th, right? So go through your concepts so that you can participate well in the exercise. All right? Okay. Give me the answer for this. I'll take the session at same time tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Yeah, Shivam, go ahead. What is your question? All right, fine. So, shower and deluge. Now again, as I said, establishing relationship here becomes very vital. Sanjana says it's irritation and rage. Answer B. Fine. The shower and deluge. This is a mild word. There is a shower, rain, right? So rain shower, mild degree. Deluge, extreme word. So excessive rain is deluge. Extreme form is deluge. Okay, Shivam. So see, basic grammar topics that we discussed in the last session I took on Friday. Please get your basics clear, get your fundamentals clear from a standard book and solve as many exercises as possible, especially noun, pronoun, rule, subject, verb, agreement, tenses, prepositions, article. Okay? These 5 topics, try to do them extensively, try to go deep into these in these topics and solve as many exercises as possible, right? So that is what you can do in terms of grammar as of now for 6th and 9th. When is your exam, by the way? So here, let me just answer this question. Shower and deluge, the relationship is shower is a mild word, whereas deluge is the extreme form. Excessive shower, rain is deluge, bar. Okay? So answer is this. Irritation is you are feeling irritated or you are annoyed at something or someone. Whereas rage is extreme form of anger. Okay? So that is why answer is this. Now they are not exact synonymous. They are not used interchangeably because they would require different kind of context and situation. Alright? So be very clear with the subtle nuances which exist in the meanings of words. Okay, Shivam, test snap. So you are not taking snap? Are you not taking snap? Okay, Shivam. So I have to rush in for today's session because I have a class at 7:30. Tomorrow is 6 and I'll take 2 hours class tomorrow for practice of verbal ability or logical reasoning, right? So you can put up your query tomorrow or you can please join my Telegram group which is there on my name only, Neelam Malkani at Telegram, right? So you can join my group and put up your query there, right? I'll definitely try to answer there. Otherwise, you can attend my class tomorrow and I'll answer all the queries you have regarding English. All right? Fine. So here answer is irritation and rage. Is that okay? Fine. So I have to wind up the session here. The questions that I could not cover up today, I'll take them up tomorrow in tomorrow's class in logical reasoning. Please excuse me today because I have 2 consecutive sessions today. I'm so sorry for that. And but I'll take session tomorrow and in that I'll try to answer all your questions. All right. Thank you very much and do let me know what topics you want me to cover in this time slot on this channel for your preparation of SNAP and tests and other exams. Right. Thank you very much. Okay, Shivam, I'll definitely send you tomorrow. I'll definitely send you tomorrow, right? I have not integrated in my slide, but I'll definitely send you tomorrow, right? If you search Neelam Malkani on Telegram, I hope you will get the link of my group, all right? Thank you very much for watching the session.